Are you tired of the negative patterns that are bringing you down? Are you ready to shift and step into your positive light? If so, this is the episode for you. My name is Henry, and welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build that positive mindset. I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because we're going to make that exact shift. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So pick a word, be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want, and we're going to take a deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy, and then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency, and once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you were surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. Well, before we get started, if you're on YouTube or Spotify, you can actually leave a comment below. Not only does it help me know what resonated with you, but somebody else might read your comment and might inspire them to give this episode a listen. I want to make this the number one mindset podcast in the world. This is the number one mindset podcast in the world, and I want to continue to grow it, and the best way to do it is together. So whether you leave a positive comment or share it with somebody, it means the absolute world to me, and I could never thank you enough. But let's go ahead and dive into today's episode. So how do you get out of these negative patterns? Well, the fact is a pattern, whether it's positive or negative. The shift you have to make is so important yet so simple. I was recently reminded about this, and you're going to see the changes in the podcast. You're going to see the changes within me. It wasn't that I wasn't doing the healthy patterns. It's intention that matters. If you're not setting intention for everything you do, it doesn't matter what you do, whether it's positive or negative. You can be influenced in the wrong direction or even just stagnant. And stagnation is difficult because if everything else is expanding, yet you're staying stagnant, then the world is growing without you. Energies are growing without you. Things are moving on without you. You have to have the intention of where you want something to go. So I'm going to set intention right now with this podcast, with this energy with you. You're allowed to just go along with it, or you can create your own. But intention is so important. So we're going to pretend that it's right before I'm recording this podcast. So you're going to jump back in time with me just a few moments. And this is what I would do before a podcast. You can do this with anything, whether you're about to eat some food, whether you're about to go for a run, your homework, school, work, meet with a friend, or even do a podcast. This is my example of setting intention. So get comfortable. Get yourself in a receiving position, and we're going to do our deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just feel the air. Don't think anything. Just feel the air. Let yourself be filled up with that pure healing oxygen. Pull it within you. And then as you're holding your breath, set the intention. I'll say mine out loud. I'll do my best because I'll be full of air. And then we'll exhale. And as you breathe out, feel and see and imagine the intention that you set flowing through the air, coming out of you and into anything around you, uplifting the frequency. Are you ready? Go ahead and take your deep breath in. My intention is to uplift, grow, heal, and expand The purpose of this message is to reach the amount of people it's meant to expand the reach of the podcast, to help people, to uplift people, to give people the perspective that they need, to give myself the perspective that I need. I'm in expansion mode. This is one of the vehicles that's helping me expand. The energy and the words and the exchange that I give today is of value and is going to expand. Now go ahead and exhale. See, words have meaning. The words represent the frequency that you're operating in. Your mind is a filter. The words that you put in that mind dictate the level of frequency that filter operates. So if I'm about to create something amazing, and this is something that I've been doing recently for a while now, and it's affected views, I think, it's affected expansion of the podcast because my attention is spread out a little bit. I've got another business that's growing really well. I've got work, I've got family, I've got all of these things going on, and the podcast had turned into just something I do, where I was showing up, I was writing, and I don't think the content was bad, but it wasn't expanding anymore because the podcast expansion is equivalent to me. Anything in your life that you want to expand will expand based on your ability. If it expands beyond your ability, then it will immediately come back and go further below than it was before because the fall down will create momentum. This is why elevating yourself is so important. This is why most lottery winners go broke, because they didn't elevate their money energy. They received a bunch of it. They didn't become the equivalent, the law of attraction, and so it left them. Anything that you're creating, anything that you're doing has to have positive intention. It's so powerful. So you're going to see the love start getting poured back into this episode or the episodes in general. I might have to change the frequency. I may not be able to do them every day because I want to elevate what goes into them. I want to spend more time elevating what goes into you so that you can uplift yourself as well. It's all about providing perspective. It's all about uplifting. It's all about expansion. So where do you need to apply your attention? Where do you need to imply, or where do you need to grow? Where do you need to set purpose in what you do? There's a way forward for you. There's a way to expand for you. There's a way to create the positive future that you deserve. But intention cannot be left out. You set the intention because that puts the place on the map that you're trying to go. The thoughts, the movements, the words, everything that you do from there is causing vibration. When you know where you want to go, and then you can act, think, and work in alignment with where you're trying to go, the vibration that you're creating will move you there. That's how this works. It's really that simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Intention is the guidance system. Without intention, you're just doing something to do. And maybe that will move you forward. There are habits that are healthy. If you just eat healthy food, you will be healthier even without the intention. So there are positive habits, there are positive things that you can do. But intention will take you to where you truly want to go. Intention gives you the power to take yourself, to expand yourself, to be the version of yourself that you meant to be. So think about this past year as it comes to end, 2023 and back, you go even further. How much did you operate with intention? How much did you truly operate with intention? Most people, in my experience, the only intention they operate is provided by their employer. The job that they go to, where they tell them, hey, you have to do this. This is our mission statement. This is where we're going. This needs to be done by this time. This needs to be done this way. This needs to happen and go to this person. Meaning the boss is setting an expectation, an intention of what you're supposed to do. But yet in the rest of our lives, with our food, with our friends, with our downtime, with our experiences, with our money, are we setting the same type of intention? When you receive $1, do you give it intention? When you give the $1, do you give it intention? If not, you're missing a huge opportunity to expand. You're missing a huge opportunity to unleash your power. You are that powerful. You are the creator and observer of your experience. Nobody else is. And if you don't take that power of intention, if you don't take that power of frequency and vibration and all those things under your control, something else will influence you. You're still the observer. You're still the creator. You're just not holding the controls. You're allowing someone else to do it. That's why news, media, all these things are so powerful because they can control you if you're not paying attention. Intention is everything. So take your power back and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And of course, you can follow me on social media. There's links to my Instagram and TikTok down below, so I appreciate all the follows there. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.